gathered the proper materials needed for tonight's session. So, let's go over the significance of each tool I will be employing tonight. So, this, you may say, what is the significance of this right here? Is it some sort of fastener? Is it something to be worn? Well, if you chose the latter, you would be correct. Because this is a bracelet. And yes, it is important. I promise it is important. Okay. We will not be using it yet, though. Because I've yet to explain the significance of these 3 items. Okay, let me back up. We have 4 items. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It doesn't actually matter what order they go in, so long as you understand that there are 4 of them. Okay, now that that's cleared up. This is chewing gum. It is gum that you chew. And it's, you might look at it and say, how are you going to chew that? It's bigger than your hand. Well, bigger than the palm of your hand, at least. And that's where the magic comes in. I will not be chewing this entire box. When you open the top of it reveals these tiny little cubes. These cube-shaped pieces. And these are small enough to put in your mouth. In fact, I will be putting multiple in my mouth at the same time. And you chew them, but you do not swallow them. So, what's the purpose of this? I think that people chew gum for a few different reasons. The first being that although it's not something to be swallowed, it does have a flavor. This tastes like cinnamon, and I can confirm, because as you can see, the package was already opened, so I've chewed a few pieces. You see right here where it says There are 40 pieces of gum in here. Well, that was true when I bought the box of gum. It is no longer true because some of the pieces I chewed them, and when I was done chewing them, I put them in the trash. So there are no longer 40 pieces, but there is still plenty to go around, and I can confirm that they taste like cinnamon. So the second reason I believe people chew gum is because it has a smell. And throughout the day, even if you have brushed your teeth, sometimes there's bacteria in your mouth that multiplies throughout the day and starts to give off a scent. And this is referred to as bad breath, this phenomenon. So what people will do is, when they notice that they have bad breath, or when somebody else tells them that they have bad breath, they will chew a piece of gum to try to cover the smell of the bad breath. Okay. These two items right here are very, very similar to each other. Here, let's get this out of the way. It's time to focus on these items. So as you can see, these two items are very, very, very similar. You may wonder how they're similar. Well, I am going to tell you, but you'll have to wait, because first, I am actually going to chew some gum. Yes, okay. And I'm gonna open it right here, because I'm gonna chew many pieces of gum rather than just one. And I like to follow the directions. Here's one. It's in my mouth, but I haven't started chewing it yet. And now I have started to chew the piece of gum. I'm going to add a second piece of gum. And even a third. As promised, I'll go ahead and tell you why these two items are similar. And they're both black. Okay. So they're similar in color. They both have white markings on the outside. No white on the inside. They're both made of the same materials. The lower parts are made of glass. And you can hear that glass sound. I'm sure it's a familiar sound, the sound of glass. It's quite a common material used by humans. Even more common is plastic. And that is what the top is made of. And that sound right there should be even more familiar than the glass. So, we have glass on glass. We have plastic on plastic. But have you heard plastic on glass? I just think it sounds so lovely. By the way, this gum is tasting superb. Okay. There's one more similarity. I had trouble saying that word. That's another thing about gum. It can cause you to struggle with your words. But it tastes really good. It tastes really, really good. So, I think it's worth a few mispronunciations. And I'm sure you would agree if you could taste it right now, too. I can't give you any, but maybe the next time you're at the store, you could pick up a box yourself and give it a try. One last similarity between these two that I would like to point out is that this lower glass part, this lower part made of glass, it's filled with liquid. And that may not be very obvious right now, but I'll show you. Okay. At this moment, I'm gonna put this bracelet on my wrist. So, we have these snaps. When you push them together, the bracelet stays on your wrist. And I think that's just so lovely. I'm not sure who invented this type of bracelet that can just snap on and off, but I'm grateful. So, these are so similar that it doesn't quite matter which I decide to use, so I think they can take turns. But we'll start with this one. That spot right there was not there when I bought it, and I'm not sure what it is, but it looks harmless enough that we can ignore it. I think it's pretty harmless. I think it's harmless. Okay. So, look at this. Look. Look. Okay. You see the plastic top right here. Watch this. I'm gonna turn it and watch what happens. It's turning. The bottom part is staying perfectly still. And it opens. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's just that never gets old. Okay. Now look. That's the liquid I was telling you about. And that's what gives it that black color. It's liquid inside. And I'm going to put the liquid on my nails. And then it's going to dry. It's going to dry. And it will no longer be a liquid. And then my nails will be black. So, here's what I'm going to do. This is a brush, by the way. You know, like paintbrushes. It's a lot like a paintbrush because it almost is. But it's not for regular paint. It's for this specific type of paint that you put on your nails. So, I'm just gonna dip it in. Okay. I'm gonna put it on my nails very carefully. It's still liquid, but that'll change, okay? That'll change. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be clean. It doesn't have to be neat. Because I think that messy things are perfectly normal. Ooh. Look at that. nice and messy. Look at that brush, look at that brush. Is it gonna find its way in? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty nice. Look at that. It's already dried right there. It's no longer a liquid. You would never know that I actually put paint on my nails. For all you know, my nails are always black. For all you know, I was born with black nails. But I wasn't. I painted them. And that's the beauty of it. It's the beauty of this product. It looks like it's just part of your body. Okay. I'm gonna close it the same way I opened it. I'm gonna set it aside so that this similar bottle can have a chance to shine. It opens in just the same way. That's what I was telling you. I told you they were similar. They are so similar that it almost doesn't matter which you use. So, similar looking brush. Okay. We just apply the paint to my nails. Now, I have to tell you, I like this nail polish better. Because look, this one that I used a few seconds ago, you can still see my natural nail underneath it. You can still see some peach color, and that's the color of my nail showing through the paint. But here, the places where I applied the paint are completely black. That's why they're similar, but they are not the same. Okay. Imperfection is perfectly perfectly normal. Look at that. Perfectly normal to be imperfect. Perfectly normal to be imperfect. I want you to remind yourself that it's perfectly normal to be imperfect. Okay? nails are painted because they have paint on them. The paint on this hand is dry, and the paint on this hand is still a liquid. The reason is that this hand, more time has elapsed since I painted my nails on this hand with the paint. But very soon, the paint on these nails will also cease to be liquid. I have become thirsty, so here's what I'm gonna do about that. I'm not gonna drink this. This is another instance where the product I'm going to consume is actually inside. Look at that. It's not water. This is called Diet Pepsi. So, Pepsi is a type of soda. But this is Diet Pepsi, which means that it does not contain any sugar. So, if you're on a diet and you are trying to consume less calories than you would otherwise, this is a very, very good choice because sugar is a carbohydrate. And for every gram of sugar or any other carbohydrate you consume, you are consuming 4 calories. So if this were a regular Pepsi as opposed to a Diet Pepsi, and it contained 40 grams of sugar, 40, 40, 40. If that's the number of grams of sugar it contained, you can multiply that by 4, and you'll realize that it contains at least 160 calories, but since I'm drinking Diet Pepsi, it contains no calories. And I certainly prefer it that way. I cannot taste the difference between regular Pepsi and Diet Pepsi. That's because they put chemicals in here that aren't sugar, because sugar is a chemical. But the chemical of sugar contains calories, and the chemical that they put in this drink tastes like sugar, but it doesn't have calories. I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip through the straw. Okay. One more sip. nails are black. And my body is hydrated. I am feeling like this has been a very productive and successful session. I just burped. Sometimes that happens when you take a drink. And that's perfectly fine. So, we will meet again, okay? I'll see you again. You'll see me again. And it will be good when we do. So, I'll see you when I see you. I will see you